Hi. Sorry, it's taking a little bit of time to verify my setup. It looks like uh, things are live now, but it was a little bit slow to update. Anyway, hi. It's Tuesday night. It's time for me to make another puzzle. I have decided this week that I'm going to work on a double or nothing crossword. I'll talk a little bit about what that is in a moment, but um, actually, I'll just get started on what that is. So, a double or nothing is a crossword variant. You might call it a crush word variant, um, but it's a crush word is one where squares can have more than one letter. There are various forms of these, like 1, 2, 3 crosswords, where they can have one, two, or three letters. There are ones where it's just they all have more than one letter. In a double or nothing, every square is either has either two letters or no letters. This is a format that Eric Berlin first came up with, and he had it as an idea for a handout puzzle for the National Puzzlers League convention. And this must have been around 2010 or so. But he had the idea, but he wasn't able to put together a grid. So he asked his friend Patrick Berry if he could do something with that, and Patrick came up with a grid, and Eric wrote the clues. And so the first double or nothing was a convention handout around 2010. I can't remember the exact year. Um, and the first couple of puzzles that Patrick made all had like theme entries that were quotes about gambling from the Double or Nothing. Um, I um, have seen many other people take this up. June Pak uses it a lot. He tends to use it more often for themeless grids. I've used it a couple times. I like it um, better than regular crosswords, both because I have an easier time spotting overlaps of words than single letter crossings, and B, I don't have to make every pair of entries cross. They can, if I want if I'm having a hard time finding a crossing for two entries, I can just leave that crossing square blank, and that is a big help to me. Uh, Now, I do have a theme that I picked out for this, with a few entries. I had debated whether I wanted it's a theme with a revealer, and I debated whether I wanted it to be three theme entries plus a revealer on a 15 by 15 grid, or four theme entries plus a revealer on a 17 by 17 grid. I tried finding a layout for four themers plus revealer in 15 by 15, and it was just too tight. But I've decided that I'm going to stick with the 15 by 15 grid, three theme entries, and a revealer. Um, Now, one of the one of the other things about a double or nothing crossword, particularly for themed crosswords, is that your theme answers don't have to all have symmetrical lengths. As long as all of their lengths are even, you can try to force entries of different lengths into the same number of squares. You just have more, more or fewer squares that are actually filled in. Um, so uh, I think it turned out that the theme entries that I want to use are 12, 18, and 18, and the revealer is also 12. So it wound up being symmetrical, but it didn't have to be. So first, I want to sort of set up the grid. The 18 letter entries, roughly, like when you make a double or nothing, usually a bit more than half of all of the squares are filled in and a bit less than half are left blank. I am and so for the 12 letter entries, I want them to be in the space of close to 12 letters. 12 is a little bit of an awkward thing. Like if you were doing 12, you could do it like, oops. Could do something like it takes all of the fourth row except for these three squares at the end. I'm thinking that I don't quite want to do that, though. That I will, especially if I'm trying to fit 4 theme entries in. So I'm going to do something roughly like this. So now I have 11 letters in this slot. And then I want 2 rows that are 15 letter entries. Or not 15, that are just 15 spaces across the whole row. And those will probably go in. Actually, I'll just mark the theme content. And this is symmetrical to the other one. Just want to put those in there so I don't accidentally put a black square in the middle of one of the theme entries. So typically for a themed crossword on a 15 by 15, you would have up to 76 entries for most publication guidelines. With double or nothing, you have a bit more flexibility. I sometimes, I can manage to do it with fewer entries. So let's see here. Might do using pound sign. Maybe that. And then something in the middle. And I don't know if this is how people actually design their grid layouts when they're making a themed puzzle. So what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So that's 34 across entries. And, well, I haven't figured out what's going on in the... What if I'm like... So let's see. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 34 across entries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 32 across entries, or down entries. That's 68. That sounds like too few. I think I'm going to have a better time if oh, wait. I didn't copy one of my squares. So let's see, what does that do for us now? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 36 across entries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 34 down entries. Still seems a little like I could afford to break this up a bit more. I could let's see. I don't want to put additional black squares here and on the other side. That will cut off the corners at the bottom. So, I could potentially change a few of these around. And let's maybe do that. Does that? No. I like it the other way. Balance the diagonal lines a bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So 38, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, whoops. Oh. That was, haha. Those were incorrectly actually, yeah, I think I'm gonna then I will change this back the other way. Does that make sense? So I believe I had 38 going across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 74 words. That seems reasonable. Like I've chosen some of the positioning of the black squares to make the grid look a little bit more open, but it's not necessarily more open if I'm not putting all the letters in all the crossings. But I think it will still have more of an open feel of the entries being able to move around the grid like this. I think it'll still work. So my theme, which is really like a Monday theme, is entries that have three pairs of double letters. And I originally was like, can I get the double letters to all be lined up so that they're in a single square, which requires that they all be at even positions, or you know, that they start at an odd, that each pair starts at an odd position in the word. Double or nothing. Yes, double or nothing is what I am doing. So my theme entries, with the things with three double letters, I want to use Green Goddess. What was it? Cannonball Adderley, who is a jazz saxophonist that is probably not that familiar today, but with a crossword I have plenty of crossing letters. Sleepless in Seattle. And then my revealer is triple double. So maybe I'll do something like a lot of these placements are very provisional and could easily get taken out. All right. I'm making some choices based on what would be good at the beginnings and ends of words. For instance, this NG in Green Goddess goes nicely as the end of a what would presumably be a four-letter word. Feel out the constricted points, and how do you do this sort of construction? Feel out the constricted points and work around those? Yeah. Number one rule of constructing in my book is start with the most restricted parts. If you've got theme entries, it's the theme entries. If you've got some sort of extraction, then you have to keep in mind what that extraction is going to be. It may be some sort of global thing, so you can't really plan it in advance. And then when you've gotten through all of those, you go, what is the hardest part of this puzzle to fill? And often depending on what kind of puzzle it is, that has different answers for me. And like some things you can't avoid. If you're doing in many kinds of formats, the last 20% is going to be constricted no matter what. And you can't exactly do the last 20% first. But make it easier on you by dealing with the other hard parts first, so you haven't left the extra hard parts for last. So now, Sleepless in Seattle, Cannonball Adderley. So I think I want to put Cannonball Adderley in the second slot, because I can't put the SL of Sleepless in Seattle in any of the first three slots. And since it's an 18 letter entry, I'm going to need to use a lot of space. That NN is going to be a little tricky in a 3 slot. I could have pen. It's acceptable to have a short entry, like a 3 space slot that is entirely filled with a 6-letter entry, but I would avoid it if you can. So in general, for a that means that for a 3-space slot, I'm going to strictly be putting in 4-letter words. I could see something that goes in here like sidewall, which is, I believe, part of a tower, or not tower, tire. See, we could have EY over here for just like eyes. DE is a good beginning. And then we just have the RL. Maybe there. And I mentioned that the nature of the format means that you don't always have to have entries that are on top of each other actually intersect. And that can be a sort of double-edged thing where, not double-edged, it can sometimes be a bit of a drawback. Like this slot here, which crosses 3 of the theme entries, it certainly would be hard to fill if you had to put something in all 3 of those that were already constrained. But I think with but I don't want to. I want to make sure that there is some are some entries that cross multiple theme entries. So like sidewall here actually having a DE and LL in the 2 theme entries is good. I don't see a good way to fit any of the beginning letters over here in to it's possible that I could change the black square pattern a little bit to maybe allow for like maybe it doesn't have to end in CA. That would mean moving this down and then this up to here and doing the same down here. And so maybe I could have something that has like CA, like that manages to have both the E and the like cheese CA something cheesecake. All right. Cheese cake. There is this question of what I am going to put here with this GR. I could move the GR over, which might be easier. Ingredient is going to be a bit too much to fit in. What else begins with INGR? That is an even number of letters. There's Ingres, the French painter that I use a bit too much. Ingrid, Ingrates. Can I use Ingrates? I'd be putting like, that's fine. So now I have to have these 2 squares on the left column both have to be filled if I'm going to get a 4-letter entry over here. The second letters have to make something with KE. Um, let's see. So, like poke or lake or make or maybe Mike. See stars. I think I'm going to want to make this not just inch, but something like flinch or grinch. Because I don't, if I just have two things below it, one thing that I personally don't like when constructing a puzzle is to have a place where two of the entries could swap places. Because if I have inch and these two bigrams, I could have just as easily put inch one row further down. No, it could be that inch goes for one further down, and I have my thing there. What would be going with INCH? There's flinch, grinch, chinch, clinch. I'm disinclined to use grinch just because I have another GR over here. It's not verboten or anything. It's just a little clunky. Clinch. So if I'm doing that, I probably want I'm also having something there. I had considered something like flinch, expo, and flexes with essay. I don't want to be going into crosswordese Latin this early. So flinch or clinch. Problem is whatever goes here has to start with a vowel, and then whatever goes on the far right is going to be consonant vowel. And then something is going down here. We could also swap the positions of AT and SE in ingrates and cheesecake. That might help. Ooh. Oh. Ugh. I don't like what's going on with that NN there anymore. All right. Something bars, that's fine. Maybe the TA goes here. So And unfortunately, over here on this down, ending in NG, the vowel there does not want to be an E. There's not a lot of of common words that end ENG. But of course, E is the easiest vowel to end a word. All right, let's just. And there we go. We have 381. Okay, so there's a lot. Just doing an equation solver here to speed things up. Flagon, Rang, and Agra. Agra is crosswordy, but also the site of the Taj Mahal. Oh, and I'm also wanting that the end of this FL word goes with either AT or SE. Just a lot of. Am I using Broda? Yeah, I'm using Broda. Just wanted to make sure my dictionary wasn't too permissive. Flares, gong, argo. No, but that gives me the ES again. I don't want that. If I have something ending in ER, could have ERS or EROT, which are both very crosswordese. Ugh. Flauta and tase. I don't like. Tase is undeniably in the language word, but don't want to use it. Just doesn't make me happy. All these ones that end in GE are making me think of the Gates GEAT from Beowulf, but I think that's a little bit too niche. Oh, no, I can't have flinch crossing flinch. Could also try with clinch instead and see if I get better things coming up. But, I'm only. What? No. Flip. No. Floppy, floral. There was something with like flauta and tase, which I could use if I need to. Fluoro? No, that's just a chemical prefix. Don't like any of those. What if I say that it begins with CL? I could also try GR for Grinch. Like I said, it's not forbidden, just not my favorite, not my the first thing I'd want to go to. Where? I wish I liked any of these things with AM as the second bigram, because I liked flambe and beat, but ambi and ambo I don't like. I have some things that are ending ET, so I could have ETA, but that's another crossword use partial. Ugh. Could have PSAT for the high school test. Still not my favorite thing to put there. Like clasps and something. Claws, ding, Audi, seat. Yeah, claws. That will do well. Audi, claws, seat. Now I was gonna have like semi here, but now that doesn't work with TA. If I didn't have to, I have to put something here. It could be a 6-letter word. That is definitely possible. So what would I... So if I have something here, I basically need... It's more or less how I have to have it. Let's do consonant vowel ATA. Yeah, I could move around how C stars is, but I don't think I'm gonna. Oh no, I still need TA there, otherwise I won't have enough room to get a 4-letter word. Sedate and data. C than Etta, but that's... Much as I love Etta James, that is crossword ease at the same time. Just curious what the etymology of sedate is. Okay, so it comes from sed to sid, and it's not related to data. I would have used it anyway because it's not obvious that they're. Oh, hey, that te is great for something like tennis, or Tennessee. Well, not Tennessee. That's to. That's an odd number of letters. Or I could do something like antennas. Although if I could get like an S here, PL. ON dot 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 ES. On rushes is the only thing. What if it's just a 6-letter one? Onyxes, onuses. Really never seen onus pluralized, but oh no, I can't have a 6-letter one that avoids putting something here where the ME is, because then I won't have the ability to put in a 4-letter word here. So, CV there. So we definitely want to have something from Sleepless in Seattle here. SLEEPL ESSI. Oh wait, I don't need that anymore. Hot tub over here will connect these two. Oh, actually I want to make sure that I connect Cannonball Adderley and Sleepless in Seattle, and I think this is the only remaining place to do it. So probably EA LE consonant vowel. SL. I'm gonna have to have something starting with EE. It's fine. Eeyore. Ephus. Eelgrass. E.E. Cummings. No way I can finish. E.E. Cummings is too long. I could do a 6 or an 8 in that. So I'm thinking that we also need something there. So what goes there? Caplet. Copley. And I'm mixing it in with an ME, so came and come are both good there. Naples. The ES is friendly. Naples, so we need to have something there. So yeah, once you start placing some of this, you realize that, oh, I do have to put some letters here and here to make sure that that I have enough letters in these slots. And sometimes that gets you in trouble. Escape, and then something here. Something here. Yeah, a lot of this is just when I can spot some things to fill in, I fill them in. Now there is this, I probably want to put something up here as well, but let's see. Just getting the CA blank and the blank IP blank. Oh, but I probably, yeah, maybe it goes there instead. Yeah, it's possible that we just end in IP, but I don't think that is likely. Cage, get hip to. Cali, Lilliput. Can I do that? No, I'm starting with, unless it's like llamas, but that won't go with pencil, so. Just realized that I could potentially have in pencil instead of just pencil. Which would mean that the other thing can only has to be 6 letters instead of 8. Or I could, in fact, do TR. Oh, right. I got very distracted. Let's see. Mars, panpipes, care and receipts, but that has ascending TSER. Suppose you have something like, no, nothing. That's what I thought. So maybe we move escape and we get carp, air pipes. I like call and Lilliput or lollipop. So moving. Oh, no, doesn't work. Does not work. Oh no, it can work. Yes. Yeah. CA. Oh, but then I have a 4-letter. It's all bad. Maybe if it's a, because I need something there to make this long enough. I could put a 4-letter entry in there. I don't want to. Suppose I could make this a 10-letter entry. Conscript, hippy dippy, line triple. Can't use that if I've got triple. Participle. Pinstriped. So, what ends in Lear that's 6 or 8 letters? Oops. Forgot to have it start with that. Oh, don't like Canalier. But what if it didn't have to end in 2 extra letters? If it's 8 letters, I could just have it be like that. And airstrip. That's a lot of stuff. I could go with that. All right. Maybe airstrip. Anything with a jump ship. Upper lip, vice grip. Hard ship or jump ship. Let's try JUMPSH. No, I think airstrip is going to be maybe. Oh, no, I could do like Trevor Noah. Although, let me see if there's like a SHRA dot shrank. Wait, is it shrank or shrunk? It's these little things. Forgetting how things. Shrank or shrunk. Okay. I was confused because of the honey I shrunk the kids, I think. But like that it was incorrect, but it's no, it's fine. So now I could have something like that. It would mean I don't have something there. And you know, that doesn't have to be. We could just have like yo-yo or something, or nay-yo. Part of me was wondering if I could get like Kai, Yo, T, and then Tetrad. But I think you'd have to have like a Dorer here, and Inor not gonna work. I suppose I could have like a four-letter kind of pencil, but I think I'm really stretching things there in my attempt to make that work. So it'd still be nice if we could get this two letters just to get more of a connection between the South and the Southwest. So A equals 2, B equals 2, A I dot dot I N A, T R B, A B E R. And I could switch around IN and TR here. Grinder would be nice, but then I'd be ending a word with GR, so that's not gonna work. M&M, trot, emoter. I suppose it could be emoted, like silenced instead of silencer. Hmm. Shinto, trot, tutor. Oh yeah, I was also going to see what happens when I switch IN and TR. Anything exciting? I already have. Oh no, I have flinch, but mattress is not good. Maybe meters, but I'm don't like using UK/Canadian spellings in puzzles if I can help it. I am more okay with using British English that does not that is different from American English. Um, but I'll use the alternate spellings if I need to. So what if I put D or S instead of an R? Ashes? No. Citron, estrin. Okay, now let's swap INTR again. I might go for M&M and emotes if I'm not finding something else that jumps out. Rained. No, I don't like trit. Could have something. Sorry, I'm lost in thought here. I'm. Okay. I don't know why Gainer wasn't showing up on the in Broda. Because I could have like YO GA ER OD eroded and silenced. That is one thing I could do that would incorporate the YO from Eeyore. But Yogo, that would give me a 4-letter entry in a 5 blank slot. Mayo. All right, well, I have. All right, let's maybe do something like this. Oh, wait. That's a lot of letters. Right, because I have the three-letter things in the bottom in here where I have Mayo. And those kind of have to be filled with, with 4-letter words. And so you have an excess of letters there. And you don't really have, and you also have a slight excess of letters up here. So if you have Eeyore, then you're going to have a couple of 8s. Could also do move that over and that. That's another possibility. Unlike Gainer, I could have, maybe I am better off having a slightly underfilled entry there with yoga and getting that annoying YO used. Then I have, that doesn't have to be anything. So it's basically going to look like that. I could swap out the SL. I can move the SL over one column and take this back one. Actually, let's put the RE here. Or, all right. Gotta fill these somehow. Part of the problem in something like this is that there's so many possible ways to position the letters that you can't really capture it with a single cot query. So, like if I have 3 places where I could put the RE of Eeyore, each of which creates a different set of queries, and I could have the SL in 2 different places, which also creates queries. Oh, I could also put the EE of Eeyore back one. So yeah, that's actually, that would give me 3 possible places for sleep. That's 9 different cot queries that I'd have to do if I wanted to cover all of them. Ugh, I do not want to do 9 cot queries. But I think I am going to and you know, I don't have to have this XX here, because I could have actually, no, we'll put RE here. Let's do that. I don't need a 6-letter entry in that. So I need like right now I'm doing the positioning based kind of on vibes. What I like the look of. Slam poet I like. Slowpoke maybe. I prefer, they're not, they're both a little bit. Slowpoke. Oh, no, I don't like that, because I now have the problem where Eeyore and the 6-letter one can be switched. All right. So that means that I'm doing that. I can't swap yoga and what's below it because they... Right. Okay. So... maybe something like slouch, host, test, all right. I was hoping I could do a bit more of this without looking at things. So ASTBC, AES, REACHA. Oh wait, didn't need to use different variables. It's not the same two letters in all of those. All of these have something I don't like. Any changes I could make? I could swap it with Eeyore. So that I would, instead of having REB, would have BRE. This is a little bit taxing for my brain right now. Dust heap. Yeah, I think dust heap is probably best here. So USTHEAP and then EEYORE. There we go. And I could have done some more things, like I could have swapped where here and chap are and tried for that combination. But I like this. Oh, whoops. The EE goes up here in sleepless. All right, so that is the Southwest. In the south, so I do have this situation here where I have this thing ending in NS, and there are a few things I could. I want to have this DENS, and that could be something like widens, but WI doesn't look good. It could be. Let's do some more. If I'm doing silenced, then both of those need letters. So widens wouldn't work, right? Yeah. So that means that DE starts with DE and ends with NS. Danes, demons, decagons, denizens. I like denizens. Can I make denizens work? IZE. Maybe like zest. There's strunk for strunk and white, the elements of style. So also, let's see if there's anything that's like .st.nk. Post-punk West Bank. Neither of those work with the NI. Yeah, strunk. What if it's skronk, Afro-punk. Let's see, I could have zeal, data link, half sunk. Neither of those have the A. Those all have the AL in the wrong place. So maybe denizens wasn't the right call. Deadpans could work. Yeah, that's AD and PA. And those have a lot more. It'd be nice if I had something. No. No, right. I do need to get this JU involved in stuff. So maybe it's like there. We're looking at something like that. Right. I liked hot tub better when it was just a 6 letter slot, but now it's an 8 letter slot. Uh, but all of the, unless I go all the way to hot tubbing, um, um, it's also possible that I move. I had TTUB just because I liked hot tub. Maybe I still like hot tub. Because again, I wanted to have some things that connected the Sleepless in Seattle with Triple Double. So we'll keep hot tub. Does mean that we probably want that. Hmm. So PAAJUB AB and K. It's possible that I was too eager to get that J in there for jump ship, and I should pair judicial red ink. That's nice. No, I already have shrink. Let me, and what if I have another 2 letters in there? How long is that? India ink. Okay. INDI. Is there a 6-letter word starting with airs? Air sac. Oh gosh, I'm now realizing what not having. I mean, I could have hot tubbing. Does that have enough? Yeah, sure, hot tubbing. So I was realizing that I was kind of running out of room down here. So we'll do that. Oh, wait. Oh, just realizing that right. Okay, that's not gonna work. So maybe I have to settle for that. Not worry about hot tubbing. Could have judicata, but that's like a partial from a legal Latin phrase. Um, what else did I have besides judicial? June baby. Too vague. All right, so RS EVOR. I could have just demons and then XXXX. Hmm. So the problem with airstrip is that there's not much else that starts with AI that's this long. Um, and that's the thing. Like I could also try outstrip here. But OU also really wants to be out. Could be something like ourselves, but all right. Let's go back, see if I can find that thing that gave me. Oh, this was a long time ago. Okay. Call and bullwhip. I'm now trying to think about whether I can get where I have outstrip or airstrip or what was it, jump ship. If I can come up with something that will play nicely with this area as well, so I don't have to put too much over here. Hardship and haze something. Or maze? No. Well, yeah, Kate Blanchett. Mateship. I don't know that I would want that. PUPA. Oh, I can't have cake. I already have cake. Decagons. Desk fans. Oh, but whip isn't good because it's got to go with an RA, doesn't it? Or whip. Could make whip work probably. What was it? I need to write this down. Deadpans. Decagons. I don't like desk fans, but I'll keep it in my back pocket. And denizens. So if I had HAZE star, there's like hazelnut, but that's haze over now. Is hazel mouse? Hazel dormouse. No. J R D S H R A N K. He. Hazelnut is not going to work. No. I'm just having to try stuff in lots of different directions. I don't like any of that, so I'm not going to use bullwhip. Film clip. Okay, film clip does that, which is, I think, easier for me to fill. Let's do maybe deadpans, and we'll do that, that. I wonder, now that I have this ER, I wonder if I could maybe put that over like preacher. Oh, but I'm gonna have a hard time with PA here unless it's STEA, steamier. Okay. Okay. All right. Now I think we're on to something. Do need to have at least 2 more things out here. So maybe this is like fire something. This could just be rest and mist. If need be, I could make it Mr. All right. Oh, this one is surprisingly taxing. All right, so getting the EA of Seattle over into steamier, and then I can make this something like Atom. But now I want to work on the getting the southeast. Oh, now that I have that, probably want to do, well, I might have to have something ending in RL, something girl, or all the things I can think of are 5 letters, like whirl and pearl. know I'm getting ahead of myself here, but I can move that RL in Cannonball Adderley around. I might add in worlds. There. I've gotten rid of that pesky RL. Just realizing that I have like one, two, three, four, five, 6 squares in a row filled in Cannonball Adderley, but I don't mind. It's 18 letters fit into 15 spaces. It's gonna have some consecutive runs. It's a little bit weird pluralizing worlds because like it's the world. But I don't know. You can have like many worlds hypothesis from quantum physics, and world can just mean something like a planet. So that's fine. All right. If I didn't already have if I didn't already have escape in here, I would totally try to put fire escape here and have something with cattle and Pele. I would. Oh no, that's not good because that would then make 2 of the 3 squares above it empty. One thing about having mist here is I could easily extend it to Mister if that helps me. For instance, is there a good Fire Chief is odd, so be like cherubic, and then dirt, 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 and dirt, dirt. Can't move the TTLE over. All right, so what's if I've already dot. A lot of things. So we want the end of it to make a word with LE. So FIRE dot. Presumably that, but it's all going to be fire code would give us DELE. That's at least Fire NATO. Is Fire NATO an actual thing or just like a sci-fi channel film. Fire tornado. It's definitely more evocative than fire code. I might have to move that over. If I do. Okay. Going back to fire code. Codify rich fire code. All right, so now I just need to make IC is going to be a little tricky. It's icon or icky, ices. So let's first try to get that. So, ICAs. Oh, ICUs. I don't like pluralizing abbreviations. And OPSO is a partial. Can't really get around this. I could. How do I feel about APER? APER. if I do that, then I could just have like Leon and Icon. And then this might be a little bit, I don't want to have to do Doer and Erie, especially when Aper is also in that corner. Equals to DOA, AIE. Joie is a partial. It's also possible that I have cherubic instead of cherub. Don't know that that really helps me. But that still leaves me with the problem of DO and IE. But if I could solve that to my satisfaction, like I'd have more willingness to put in joie, the partial joie, and dojo, if I had a better solution to this area up here. Pylon, Appy, no. ICM dot dot. Let's try this again. A equals to B equals to APA. I C or M B A L E B, and let's open up the word list. see what we get. This is hopefully not too much for Cot to handle. Search terminated early. You gave me results when I had a less. Maybe I shouldn't use union for this. Maybe I should just stick with Broda. I'm not coming up with a way to get out of this. Gracefully, so I'm just gonna leave that as it stands. I suppose I could try Opso and Soleus, and that might be no. Might see how this tests. I'm now looking at the top and feeling a little bit like I might be a little bit crunched. Let me just see if I have anything else that will fit. Sidewall is the best of those. Actually, I think if I put sidebars, that would be take up 3 of my placed bigrams. And then so let's try to plot this out. This OD. Maybe I don't have that, but I have these. Overhead, overload. Actually, should probably do it that way, so it's not anther. Maybe. All right. So I'm currently concerned with this chunk down here with the LL and the AD from Cannonball Adderley. Now let's just do the whole simultaneous thing. 4 variables. One of the things about double or nothing that is, I guess, kind of convenient for Cot is that whenever I do a query, I don't need to count how many letters are going to be in each part. It's always going to be 2. Let's see. I don't want anything with ball in it because I already have Cannonball. And what if I swapped this like I had? Because that doesn't actually affect the rest of the puzzle at all. Whether I have the 8-letter, which slot I have this 8-letter word in. Okay, I like that. Anorak. Orwell, weep. PR. All right. Now. All right, so I need to have something with OD, have something with LE, possibly with 2 letters after it, and then 6-letter word with BR in the middle. A equals to B equals to A B R C B A O D L E B dot dot. Because I see some close ones like Cobras, but then you'd have COOD, or Rob Roy with Rude, but then you have LEOY. Okay, nothing where it's 6 letters. And if this doesn't work, I think I could still we're back to DOOD. I don't like that word. All right, so what I can do, oops, is switch simile and, all right, BR MI. So the only thing that changes is that B is now before LE. And come on. I might have to open up the dictionary. I can go back and see if I have a better option than break pad to put in the middle of this 6-letter word. Search terminated too early. Yeah, it's just not able to handle a query on all of Union. Don't like any of those. Like maybe, what is Crandall? Who is named Crandall? Crandall, it's a city in Texas. The population is 5,100. That's just spiffy. It is named after Cornelius F. Crandall, who had previously founded Crandall, Indiana, whose population is 152. That's just random business owners and stuff. Nothing that nothing to write home about. Hmm. So one thing I was thinking. Oh wait, no. So I was thinking like Rolo, but Rolo is related to. Gosh. But Thrall isn't a thing. What if we. Odor. Okay. EP. Yeah, there's nothing tying me to simile. It was just the first thing that popped into my head. So I could maybe do that. All right. Odor and anorak. Sidebars. Something else ending in LL. One, two, three, four, five, six. And we could swap the positions of those, and that would only allow it to affect a couple things. All right, so SICDE. FEP. And then going down, we have ACFLL. I apologize that this has devolved into Cothell. DSS. And then BE dot dot. And we can swap A and C and B and E in those latter queries. And see what we get. Cabral? Isn't that like... I don't know, I don't like that at all. What is Cabral? Is that someone's name? Pedro Cabral, discoverer of Brazil. I do not remember that name. I mean, that doesn't mean anything in particular. So it looks like that didn't work out either. There's also the possibility where we don't have any sticky outy letters here, but I don't think that's going to do anything for us. Might be able to also get away with having fewer letters up here. Like I didn't have to have these two letters, so I can experiment with deleting some of these bigrams. Could also move around the SS of goddess. Like I could still have simile in there. Oh wait, I definitely need that there. Yeah, because I can't have it beginning with SS. So that creates more problems. So let's put SS here. Landfall, late bell, late bell. Like with putting brake pad there, I'm kind of committing myself to having something ending in E here. So D. That wound up. Ugh. As soon as I let go of things being certain length, I was able to get to something. And still have simile and myths. So yeah, having Orwell before with having the Or of Anorak be over here for Orwell was close, but no cigar. But that works. So now I just need something like episodic or is there a 6-letter thing starting with EP? EpiPen. Ephron. Eponym. Epochs. And this EY of Cannonball Adderley can move around. It's just if I have eponym, then I feel like I'm locking myself into something ending with something else ending with YM. And I don't want it to be any kind of nym. Boney M. That's about all I got. Who even is Boney M? They had like a hit in the 80s. Reggae, funk, and disco. Oh, I was right that they did Rasputin. So, like, I could. I feel like. Hoth. All right. This is it. I could also have hobo instead of hone. So I've got a couple of possibilities here. But let's just see what this gives us. And if this doesn't work, try the other way. All right. Just 3 variables. So I could have, oh, right. I could have ANE or ABO. This is telling me that I'm probably going to have a lot. Okay, so there definitely are good good things in here. Let me now find the best thing. I don't want it to end in S. The 6-letter one. So let's see. No, I can't have go AWOL crossing with gone. Mynad and woad are both a little bit unfamiliar, alas. Let's see. A lot of these just could have zoinks. But I can also have BO. I like zoinks for the Scooby-Doo angle. BO isn't as good, so a lot of things with woes just because that the ES is easy to work with. Hoping that I could find something good with woof, but most of them are phrasal verbs ending in OF, and not thrilled with that here. Woot? No. So I think it's down to either Mynad, Main, Then, and Woad, or Zoinks, Zone, Thin, and Walks. And let me just make sure that Zoinks is actually what Shaggy says. Popularized by the cartoon Scooby-Doo. Yes. All right, so let's do that. All right. So hot honey, ZOIN, zoinks. All right, let's just do a pass, see about all of these entries. Clinch, cobras, hobo, Audi, simile, zone, green goddess, thin, seat, anorak, eponym, sedate, weep, walks, cannonball Adderley, sea stars, ads, Mike, Asti, past, rich, name, fire code, sleepless in Seattle, dues, calm, mist, yoga, clever, aper, oust, triple double, here, in pencil, iced tea, chap, eroded, and joie. I might still play with the bottom right. Like, there were a couple of things that I just settled on where I might have been a little premature about that. And maybe giving it a second thought might be advisable. Could try to go back to hot tubbing. I like ricotta pie. Oh yeah, I was grades, dust heap, cheesecake, ER, ding, data, Naples, antennas, on time, trod, sidebars, escape, cowl, film clip, brake pad, silenced, miss, deadpans, evil, asleep, steamier, worlds, rest, dojo, hot honey, ricotta pie, zoinks, cherubic, bony M, deal, deal, I don't know how to pronounce that, and Leet. I could change Ice T and Leet to Icon and Leon. So, given that this is acceptable fill, let's duplicate this and see about trying to find something different in the southeast. So let's stick with steamier, but get rid of basically everything else down here. And we'll try to maybe make very hot tubbing and these LEs could be moved. Oh yeah, I was gonna have fire hose. So that's basically what we would have. So some of this is definitely doable. Like I could have mist and rest like I had before. I might have to play around in the bottom right. D-O and G. I mean, there's Dodo and Dong, but I'm not the sort of constructor who puts Dong in my puzzles. No shame on the kinds of constructors that do put Dong in their puzzles. I mean, there's some things like there's a songwriter, Vienna Tang, so I could have Dote and Tang, but I don't know how well known she is. Oops. Forgot to set the length requirement there. Dora and Rang. Dosa and Sang. Okay. And it's possible that I could maybe tack on another 2 letters to help out over here. It's also possible that I could swap the SE and the LE here. if I can just... Yeah, let's maybe go with dosa and sang, because dosas are delicious. And then, all right, we know that mist and rest can go here. So really most of what I'm looking for is this 8-letter word. Make sure that it goes with BI. And then all the other things are easy pairings. So yeah, A equals 2 dot dot LE dot dot A BIA. Co-leader, Celestas. Dilemmas is going to make us start something with MM, and that's not good. Delegate. I got rid of del, so I could have delegate. Okay. Delegate. Gaga. Gale. Bite. Now, there is the possibility that I could still get something down here. So maybe I do, because if I have something there, then it starts to become a little bit more involved. Okay, so we'll see if it works with delegate first. So, because like we could certainly have melees and then probably something that ends NGES. Although I'm, well, maybe it, okay. So GIA. BNGC, DOB, ALEC. 4 variable, or, oh, whoops. BNG. Misspelled one of those. ranges. Okay, with Dora. Missed that. Gasp. Zhong'an, something I'm going to recognize. Joseph Zhong'an was a composer. I doubt. I mean, it's an organist and composer that I've not heard of. So I doubt that that's what they're looking for. Notable people. No. So Yongan, but not something that I would include. So I could have game, ranges, Dora, and melees. And I like, I do like having a little bit more communication in that area. I could. What if So I've got Dora, ranges, melees. I'd like to maybe not have a plural in the southeast corner. I have plenty of things that are overlapping, yes, but just, the southeast corner is the last thing you see in the puzzle. So 5 variables. D equals 2, E equals 2. AB BIC D and GE have LE A C A LE E DO D. Oh, I'm just seeing Gale, Hangry, Doha, and Ellery. And I just don't want. Between Gale in the singular GAEL and Ellery, there's Ellery McQueen or Ellery Queen. I forget what his name is exactly. So what am I looking at? I guess I'll look at Domo, Dodi, Dodo, Dongle I'd be willing to have. Although everything it's giving me is male alto, which I don't know. I just prefer the term countertenor. Also that gives me BITO, BITO. I think what's happening is that it's gonna give me way more than oh yeah, this isn't coming close to 1,000. So this is actually really under constrained, what I have done. So I guess let's go back to where I was just getting this one, where I was just getting the BI. So I had delegate, but maybe I have something I like better. Wild card, whole card, and bird. I don't already have card in the grid, do I? Card is one of those words that often shows up just because it's nice, nice letters. All right. Molecule. Honestly, I like whole card for being another phrase. Ooh. I don't like whole card. Because then you can swap the H. If I had a whole card, then the HO in fire hose could be swapped with it. That's not what I want. So not whole card. Maybe molecule. Molehill is another good phrase. So that might not work. We'll see. So now, instead of GA, I have HI. Oh yeah, I had Celestas. I liked Celestas. It might not work well in the... yeah, I'd have to have CE and then something with a... ending with a vowel. Right, hang on, Doha, Delion. I mean, we have De Leon for Ponce de Leon, who is, I think, more well known of an explorer than Cabral, was it? Let's see what else we can put in here. What was it? I had Celestas. Oh yeah, but I said that that probably wouldn't work with the CE. at top, but I'll at least look at it. I mean, you could have something like Michael Cera or John Cena. Stowe, Hangry, Doha, and Owlery. Do people actually say Owlery? Yeah, other than Harry Potter. Oh, I know. Yes. So let me see if I can make CE work up top. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the clue I have in mind has already been used before. Oh, seed and dill. Okay, yes. Let us do this. Oh, whoops. It's not LE, it's SE. Ooh, excuse me. No, I don't like those as much. Okay, so... Alright, so I had that. I put in ST. I could also put in CU for molecule. No, those are worse. All right. Could have file card, although I would usually say filing card. I don't like polentas as much as celestas. Oh, and NT is not a good starting set of letters. Tolerate. So we put in RA here. RA seems likely to have something. Race, Hangry, Doha, and Celery is nice. Okay, I'll take that. All right. R-A-C-E R-Y Hangry. Now we equals 2a. And I can see that there's going to be some things like Toro. Hope there's something that's I like better than that. To do and dose. Yeah. Okay, that I like that southeast corner much better, and so I'd say that's a filled in grid. So yeah, most of the entries in this grid have, are at least as long as the number of spaces in their thing, which is nice. The only one that's shorter that I see off the top of my head is yoga. Oh, yoga and cowl, which are both one letter shorter than the number of spaces. If it were more than one letter shorter, I'd be a bit more concerned. Okay, so we can have hot tubbing. So we have one comparative adjective, steamier. I'm fine with that. Have a few plurals, like sidebars is fine, and it's crossing C stars, which is the preferred form of that phrase. Eroded and silenced, ending in the ed. Yeah, fine. Eponym is a little bit slightly obscure, but people know what eponymous means, and so I think just something that pushes that. Zoinks and walks. Zoinks is kind of a fixed thing. I don't even. What even is the derivation of zoinks? Is it just a sillier version of zoons? We'll have to ask Casey Kasem. All right. That was a lot for me. It took a bit out of me, and I am done. So I am just gonna wrap this up now. I'll be back next week with something new. And until then, happy solving, everyone. Bye.